Hello my peeps from Valladolid, saludos aquí. No sé si este video va a ser en Spanglish o si va a ser en inglés. Vamos a ver cómo tira el flow. So after the cannabis starting to kind of hit a little bit of action because I just finished a light dinner, I started ruminating about my day, right? So even though I'm sitting here disheveled and smelling like a goat that's been out of pasture all day because I've been actually pressure washing outside, I thought I should take the time to actually celebrate this 420 Eve. I mean, I don't know if that's officially a holiday, right? Tomorrow's 420. They've got Christmas, Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve. So if it's not a holiday, today I declare it a holiday. 420 Eve. A Festivus for the rest of us. So in any case, all I wanted to share was the following. Even though after the pandemic, we've all been kind of juggling our resources around because I got this property, thank God, I established some roots in 2017, 2018 right here in Valladolid. Still, right now, I just finished having these two wonderful sandwiches and that I got with some turkey breast ham that and manchego, Mennonite manchego cheese that I actually got at the deli right on 42 in San Juan, right at the Willie Plaza, correct? And then I accompanied those by some malanga chips, which are pretty much gone from Areca. So shout out to Areca, which is right on 40, also in San Juan, correct? And on the sandwiches, I had some local tomatoes, and I had also some chile dulce, which is kind of like this little sweet local pepper that I got actually at la abuela de Areca, que es lo que yo le llamo, aunque es la abuela de Jose, still she's la abuela de Areca. She's the establishment that's right next door to Areca, and she works from like 7 to 2. Beautiful, wonderful soul of a lady, and sells you the freshest produce around from 7 to 2. Besides that, I'm drinking a Dos Equis beer, right? In a mason jar, which is the most appropriate way to enjoy a beer, which is endorsed by Bruce Willis in butchered Spanish. So, what I wanted to say was also that I started saying, well, I've got 4 or 5 hustles, side hustles. I'm working all day. I'm up from 7 o'clock in the morning and this whole stuff. Oh, and by the way, while we're talking about this, Timbas outside enjoying a huge beef bone. Thanks to Doña Lor. Again, shout out in front of San Juan Park. Doña Lor, some of the best food. She's got the best pork tacos for breakfast. Because yesterday, Doña Lor had this bistec de res de cazuela, which is kind of like this beef cut dish that comes with potatoes and rice and beans and the whole thing. And since Timba is so much loved, even more than myself here in town, I don't know if it's that Star of David. If some of you guys have been here, right? To Sonando Wishes, you know she's got that weird Star of David in the back. And I'm not talking about David from the Bible. I'm talking about David Bowie. She's got that total glam star happening in the back. Every time I go to Doña Lourdes and people treat her right, give her things. Whenever Doña Lourdes prepares some kind of dish, she's always got like some big old ham bone waiting for, or in this case, steak. So in any case, counting how fortunate I am in these 4 or 5 different side hustles that I have. The bliss of not only playing my drums and my percussion and arranging and composing, but also sharing this with my students here locally and also with some of my students in Japan, correct? And also teaching Spanish and English to students here locally and also, again, students in Japan. Not only the grammar and the vocabulary, because when you're learning a language, you're also learning about a whole culture, a whole history, right? And these whole context in which it develops, correct? So it's very interesting linguistics. I love it, and especially teaching through the arts. And not only that, learning from my students. For example, right after I finish this, I'm going to watch this movie by a Japanese director, which was recommended by one of my Japanese students, but whose name I actually can't pronounce the name of the director. And no, it's not Akira Kurosawa, you hipster dilettante. So having gotten that locally here in San Juan. Oh, and also, by the way, this kind of butter that I am enjoying has been made, and also I've got some baked goods by he whose name shall not be mentioned, is the best damn kind of baker that I have ever encountered in my eclectic life. Oh, and the other bliss that I have as far as work, I enjoy and take such pleasure in the mesmerizing effect of pressure washing with water and cleaning. So my folks, have yourselves a good 420 Eve and have a good 420 day tomorrow. And remind yourselves of what you do have and not of what you don't have. And also, another thing, check yourselves out. If 3/4 of the day you enjoy, right? In other words, as David Byrne said, right? He said the opposite. He said, well, if you're enjoying it, right. If you're enjoying your day while you're working, things are going good, at least 3/4 of the day, because it is hard work, whatever you do. Music, accounting, banking, finance, painting, cooking, whatever it is, the heck that you do that gives you bliss, right? If you're one of the fortunate ones that gets to work in your field, correct? But if you're not, as David Byrne said in Talking Heads, if your work isn't what you like, then something isn't right. So go ahead and keep that thought for 420 and see if you can actually find some way or the way to build up your resources along the way to enjoy a blissful life. I feel fortunate to have established roots in Valladolid, but especially San Juan. And, hey, not to forget my San Juan peeps, the fortune that I've had of being able to not only be with a folkloric bomba group, even though I've been distanced in Chicago Bomba Group and Plena Group from Chicago, Africaribe, and other groups for the last 20 years, of being able to participate in the Festival San Sebastián with my youth bomba group, to be there in Cangrejo, to be there in Cataño, to go to a Plena Festival and participate all the way down to Valle de la Vega. Mi gente de Santurce, that beautiful colored town with all that salsa history, con la donde vive mi amiga la Rosy Pellerano, la Pelle, también pa' ustedes. Papán, valores ahí. Pero en esto estamos hablando de este San Juan de aquí. Y miren cómo es, the whole thing about synchronicity, right? All of a sudden, this Afro-Caribbean drummer, this Argentino-Caribeño, which has decided to focus most of his time on this Puerto Rican genre more than the Dominican and the Cuban that he actually learned and immersed himself in, I end up with a property growing beautifully around beautiful people that are enterprising, creating, and innovating in a barrio called San Juan, Valladolid. Saki, my baby. So much love, much peace on this 420's Eve, as Festivus for the rest of us, and enjoy your 420, my people.